Good morning, grade 4 students. How are you? I hope you are all fine. Welcome to a new English lecture. This is lecture number 4, week 23, semester 2. What are the objectives in this lecture? We're going to read and spell words with the prefixes, identify features of genre folk tales, identify the theme of the story, and deduce the meaning of a new word from the root words. You can refer to your phonics practice book pages 31 till 35 and to the reading writing workshop pages 94 till 97. What do we have in this lecture? We're going to do phonics and then we'll move on to the vocabulary. These are the vocab words: attracted, dazzling, fabric, greed, honest, requested, sword, trudged. And we will read the lesson, the fisherman and the kaha bird. We have other skills. We're going to talk about the genre, the theme, and root words. Phonics. Prefixes. What are prefix? A prefix is a word part, so it's part of a word which is placed before the stem of a word. The stem means the main word. Adding it to the beginning of one word changes it into another word. What do we mean? Let's take an example. We have the word unblock. The stem word is the word block. Okay? When I add a prefix to the beginning of the word, the prefix here is on. I change the meaning. For example, block is to block something, to stop, for example. When I add on has a meaning by itself. It means not. So here, now, the word unblock is giving me the opposite, the antonym of the word block. Okay? You will understand it more when we learn more examples. Here I have the word unborn, unchain, unload, unlock, recall, relearn, resell, rewash, rewind. Imperfect, indirect, incorrect, illegal, overact. Yes, over can stand as a word by itself, as a preposition, and also as a prefix. Overheat, subway, premix, pre-plan, supersize. Let's sort them. First, as you can see, I have words with the prefix on, as in unblock, unborn, unchain. I have words with the prefix re, as in recall, relearn, resell. I have words with the prefixes im and in, as in imperfect, indirect, incorrect. I have words with the prefixes ill and over, as in illegal, overheat, and overact. And I also have prefixes, words with the prefix sub, pre, and super, as in subway, premix, supersize. What does each prefix mean? The prefix on means not. For example, unblock means not to block. The prefix re means again. For example, rewash means wash again. The prefixes im and in, both of them mean not. For example, imperfect means not perfect, and incorrect means not correct. The prefix super means above. For example, supersize means above size. The prefix ill means not also. For example, illegal means not legal. And the prefix over means over or more than. As in overheat means heat it more or heat it over. The prefix sub means under, as in subway means underway. The prefix pre means before. For example, premix means mix before. So these are our words and the prefixes and their meanings. Now during our Zoom we're going to solve page 34. If you have time and if you really love English, you can solve this one by yourselves. Now we will move on to the vocabulary words. Here I have the word attracted. Attracted. Attracted means drew attention of, to draw an attention. So attracted means drew attention. For example, in the sentence, the brightly colored flower attracted a butterfly. This flower attracted the butterfly. Second word, I have the word dazzling. Dazzling. When something is dazzling, it means it's so bright that is almost blinding. Okay, it's something dazzling means so bright. For example, the fireworks in the night sky were bright and dazzling. So they gave you the meaning of dazzling in the sample sentence. Number 3, I have the word fabric. A fabric is some kind of material such as cloth. The girl's towel and clothes are made from fabric. Number 4, I have the word greed. When someone is greedy, it means he is selfish. When someone is greedy, means selfish. He only likes things for himself. It was greed that caused the boys to grab more cookies than they needed. Look at the boys trying to grab all the cookies from the plate. This is a greedy act. Now I have the word honest. Honest. The H is silent. Honest. When someone is honest, it means he is truthful and trustworthy. Okay? He's a truthful person and trustworthy. Leo was honest and told his mother the truth about the broken window. So maybe Leo broke the window and he's being truthful and honest, and he told his mom all about it. Requested. Requested. To request is to ask for something. This one is easy, right? Ask for something. When you request, you ask for something. The customer requested service from the waiter. This is the customer and he's requesting service from the waiter. I have the word soared. To soar is to fly very high. You know, this is really nice. There's a nice movie about soaring. So soared. The sentence, for example, the seagull soared upward high over the ocean. And the last word, I have the word trudged. When you trudge, you walk slowly and steadily. You walk slowly and steadily. It means you will be careful. The tired hikers trudged slowly up the path. So it means they walk slowly. We are going to practice this page during our Zoom lecture. Now we will move on to the reading part, but before that, we are going to answer, look at this picture and learn something. What are some messages in animals' stories? The story that we're going to read involves animals in it. And folk tales usually have animal characters, and they use animals to deliver a message. There's a message from this story. At the end of the story, there's a message that the author is trying to deliver. Look at this picture here. The squirrel is trying to get the peanuts from the bottom of the jar, and apparently it got stuck. So how would you describe this squirrel? Do you think he's brave, or greedy, or foolish, or clever? This one, we're going to discuss it during our Zoom. Let's watch a small video now.
Literary lessons. What are some messages in animal stories? What story is Dog telling his young friend Fawn? Maybe it's about how the rabbits became friends with the farm animals. One brave rabbit started playing tag with Calf, and now they play every day. Goat and his rabbit friend sometimes butt heads, but even when they disagree, they know they're still friends. Unexpected friendships like this can be strong because they take more work.
Our lesson is the fisherman and the kaha bird, and the genre of the lesson is folktale. Let's start by reading the lesson. Long ago there lived an old fisherman who made his pitiful living catching fish. All day the old man sat on the river bank waiting for the fish to bite, but he never had more than 1 or 2 small fish to sell at the market. He and his wife were always hungry. One morning the tired old fisherman trudged slowly to the river. Suddenly a great bird with bright, dazzling silver feathers settled in the tree above him. The delighted fisherman knew this was the magnificent kaha, a glittering bird that occasionally appeared to help the poor or the sick. "I see you work for very little reward," the kaha said. "I wish to help. Every day I will bring a large fish to your house that you can sell at the market." The old man couldn't believe his luck. As the days passed, the honest kaha kept her promise. The fisherman sold the fish and came home with plenty of food. Soon he was bringing home clothing made from brightly colored silk fabric for his wife. At the market one day, the Shah's crier made an announcement: "Find the great kaha for our eminent Shah and receive a reward of 50 bags of gold." The fisherman thought, "If I had 50 bags of gold, I would be rich. But how can I betray the bird?" He argued with himself until finally his greed for gold blinded him to the generosity of the kaha bird. He told the Shah's crier about the kaha and requested assistance in catching her. He asked for 400 men to help him. That evening, 400 servants followed the fisherman home. They hid among the trees as the fisherman set out a feast to tempt the bird. When the kaha landed in a tree, the old man said, "Come dine with me, dear friend. I wish to express my gratitude. The Kaha, touched by the fisherman's kindness, and attracted to the delicious meal, flew down to join him. Immediately the fisherman grabbed the Kaha by the feet and cried out to the servants to help him. The startled Kaha spread her wings. She began to fly up with the fisherman pulling at her. A servant caught the fisherman by the feet, but the bird rose higher. A second and third servant grabbed onto the first, until soon 400 servants hung by one another's feet as the Kaha soared upward. Looking down, the fisherman could just barely see the river below. If he hadn't betrayed the Kaha, he would not be in this predicament. There was but one thing to do. The fisherman let go of the great bird's feet. The servants and the fisherman tumbled from the sky and landed in the river. It was many weeks before the fisherman had healed enough to fish again. Every day the old fisherman looked up at the sky for a sign of the beautiful silver bird, but the Kaha was never seen again. This is the story. This is our story. It's really nice and entertaining. We will discuss it briefly during our Zoom. We have other skills we need to consider. The genre. The genre of this selection is folktale. What do we mean by folktale? Folktales are based on the traditions and beliefs of people. Usually teach a lesson. There's a lesson of this story. We're going to talk about it. And they often use characters to symbolize or represent a human quality. The human quality here, for example, the Kaha was generous, right? But the fisherman was what? You're going to tell me that during our Zoom, okay? What is the theme? The theme is the central message or the lesson that an author wants you to understand. We're going to identify the theme of the lesson. In order to identify the theme of a story, look closely at what characters say and do. And we have another skill, which is the root words. As you read The Fisherman and the Kaha Bird, you may come across a word that you do not know. Look for simplest. This is what we call, as we said, the stem. In the beginning, when we were talking about prefixes, we said the stem. The stem is the simplest form of the word. The root, it will help you figure out the meaning of the longer words. The genre. So we're going to read this one, the tiger, the Brahmin, and the jackal. Okay, we will read this text during our Zoom and we will answer this question. What lesson do you think this folk tale teaches? And then we will solve this one about the theme. What is the theme of the lesson? We are going to provide at least 2 details in order to find out the theme at the end. We will solve these questions about root words. You can also solve them from the lecture. That's all. Thanks a lot for watching. See you on our Zoom.